with the Mason Method for Natural Childbirth. I want to talk to you about the number one reason that could potentially prevent you from having a natural childbirth or having a birth with minimal medical interventions. You may be thinking the answer is something along the lines of maybe the pain of childbirth, and that actually is not it. The number one reason that prevents a woman from having a natural delivery is not being prepared for labor. And I hate to even use the word not being prepared because I feel like it has a mom-shaming vibe to it, and that's not what I'm trying to imply at all. And I'm not saying women are procrastinating or anything along those lines when it comes to labor, but it's more like they don't know how to prepare for labor, or they aren't aware that they can prepare for labor. Let me give you a hypothetical situation to explain what I'm talking about. Let's say a woman is hoping to have a natural birth, and during the ultrasound, the provider discovers that her baby is really big and suggests that she schedule an induction before waiting for labor to come on its own. So she gets induced, and let's say they use Pitocin to get the labor going. Because Pitocin is a synthetic hormone, many times the contractions become really intense. After a few hours, the contractions are too much, so they offer her an epidural. She decides to get that epidural, and research shows that epidurals can sometimes stall out labor. So now, let's say labor has stalled and they need to increase the Pitocin to get labor moving again. So now the baby isn't sure, am I staying in or am I going out, and decides to not participate in labor. Next, they try to get him out with a vacuum, and when that doesn't work, eventually they end up needing to do a C-section. And as you can see, this has completely gone off of her path of wanting a natural childbirth. Again, this is a hypothetical situation, but it could happen, and I think that situations like this and ones that are similar are one of the main reasons that the average C-section rate in the United States is 1 in every 3 deliveries, when the World Health Organization says emergency C-section should be more like 1 out of every 10 deliveries. So let's back up and see how she could have possibly stayed on path to having a natural birth. We believe just as important as the baby's size is the baby's positioning. In fact, we think it's so important we have a whole section of our guide just on positioning alone. So during the ultrasound, the woman could have asked certain questions in regards to how the baby was positioned. Most people know that you want a baby to be head down, but did you also know that research suggests that when a baby is in proper position, you should be able to expect a smoother delivery? A good picture to imagine is trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. That's kind of like what it's like when the baby isn't in the right spot. Have you ever heard of a petite woman having a huge baby naturally? Most likely, that's because the baby was in the perfect position to ease down the birth canal. So, if the woman in the scenario I mentioned above would have known about the importance of the baby's position, she might have been able to hold off on the induction. And this is assuming everything else looked great and the woman didn't have any conditions like CPD and the baby was healthy as well.
So Steph and I saw a need to provide solutions for all of these different scenarios, that can steer a woman off of her course from birth. Especially if a woman is trying to birth with the fewest amount of interventions as possible, which is what most women want. And so we started developing products that will help women stay on track. So with the example that she just gave, the solution there was all about baby positioning. And so while there's all of these different scenarios out there that can throw mom off course, like we said, it's all about knowledge so that whatever your situation might be, you can make an informed decision that maybe it's not what you exactly wanted or you thought would happen, and it kind of veers you off, but you can come back to your plan for childbirth, especially if that is a natural childbirth. So maybe you downloaded our guide and you've already started to work on it and look at the information that we've provided, and I hope you're getting some great information from it. But I also encourage you to check out our online course, The Mason Method for Natural Childbirth. And it provides detail and a blueprint and a step-by-step process, so to speak, that women can follow for both the preparation side as well as providing solutions for these scenarios that often steer women off course. You can stream it online and you can watch it on your phone, your computer, or your tablet. Even though it has a ton of detail to it, it's very easy to follow. In fact, if you watched it for 30 minutes a day, you could finish the entire course in just under a week. But it's for women that are in any phase of pregnancy, so if your due date is a couple of days away, you could actually sit down and knock out this course within a couple of days, if you needed to. So with the example that she just gave, the solution there was all about baby positioning. And we actually have an entire module on baby positioning. And we also have a module on pain management where we teach you how to train your body to prepare, including your mind, which helps you handle contractions and the length of labor. We have a couple of bonus modules that we have on, if your baby's in the breech position, what you need to do. We provide a nutritional module that provides women with the nutrients needed for your baby's development. And then finally, we have this entire module dedicated to the interventions and scenarios. So mom will be completely prepared and be able to know confidently that she's making the right decision if something does come up. And then the last module, we walk you through the different stages of labor and what to do during each phase to keep labor progressing, to provide stamina, and then also show you how to manage your pain. So we basically show you what you need to be doing throughout each stage of labor to keep things on track. And then we provide a list of the most common mistakes that women make that actually steer them off course throughout labor too. So all of our strategies are very, very super easy to follow.
If you have seen any of my other videos, then you've probably heard me say this, but I truly used to believe that women who had natural births had to have these superpowers. I've had 2 successful natural births of my own, and I am far from having any superpowers. I'm just a girl from the Midwest who couldn't even make the varsity tennis team in high school. It turns out instead of superpowers, all you need is the proper preparation. So anyway, be sure to click on the link to get instant access to our course, The Mason Method for Natural Childbirth. It has helped hundreds of women without superpowers like myself have an amazing birth experience. In fact, we are so confident in it, we are offering a 100% money-back guarantee.